Today I want to talk to you about 5 tips. I talked to you about yesterday about 5 tips of ways to increase your time, increase your profits during Q4. And today I want to talk to you about 5 more tips to increase your profits and time for Q4. And it's things that I've been able to accomplish in my own business. I believe this will be, this will be my 5th Q4 to go through, I believe. And so I'm very excited about that. So I'll get right to it. Tip number 1, for the most part, I avoid the hot toy lists. And I suggest you do too. Occasionally there will be a hot toy that you come across that is, in all of the hot toy lists that are out there that'll be good to buy. But most of the time the hot toy lists that are out there are manufactured by the stores telling you what's going to be hot. Pretty soon in your newspaper and in your inbox, you're going to find the hot toy list for 2015. Toys R Us will have it, Walmart will have it, Target will have it, all the stores will have it, and they will tell you what's going to be hot. And it's very likely that it will be hot. They will be very popular toys, except the thing is, unless you have a wholesale count and can get those at drastically reduced prices, you're not going to be able to make much from those items with retail or online arbitrage, because if a store thinks they're going to sell a whole bunch of them, then based on their experience in the past, they are going to be ordering a ton of them. In fact, these might be the toys that end up on the after clearance Christmas sales, where then I would suggest you go buy them after Christmas. But at first, leading up toward Christmas, the best thing to focus on would be the items that are harder to find in November and December. So tip number 1, avoiding the hot toy lists, but using the hot toy list to find rabbit trails. That's a little bonus tip for you in tip number 1. Use the hot toy list to find rabbit trails. There's times where last year I remember finding out that there was a certain kind of little talking toy gizmo thing and little anyway, the big huge racetrack of the toys, and the I think it was actually not a racetrack but a zoo, was really popular, and it was a hot toy. But what turned out to be a really good money maker was some of the little individual pieces that go with that hot toy that were a little bit harder to find. So use the hot toy list to find rabbit trails, and when you're out looking for things, find the hot toys, but then kind of look for the accessories that go along with them. Those will be awesome things for you to be able to resell, and resell for big value, especially after Christmas is over also, because people are going to want those accessories. So that's tip number 1. Avoid the hot toy lists, but use them to find rabbit trails. Tip number 2, use discounted gift cards. When you're purchasing retail arbitrage or online arbitrage, use discounted gift cards. You can go to websites like raise.com, and you can find more about that at fulltimefba.com/raise, and you can buy discounted gift cards. And like, I've before bought a $100 gift card at Walgreens for $75. That's like $25 in free money. And so you can be able to source and get more items for less money, and it just adds up over time. And if you're doing online arbitrage, it's possible right before you purchase something on your computer to go over to Raise or Cardpool. Gift Card Granny is another site that kind of compiles them all together. But be able to find a gift card that you can order right then, and about 5 seconds after you order it, the electronic gift card number is in your inbox. You can purchase. We've done that before with Target, with other websites. Right before we purchase an online arbitrage, we check to see if there's an electronic gift card that we can buy. So tip number 2, to increase your time and your profits, use discounted gift cards. It's like free money. It's like a no-brainer. So tip number 3 for getting ready for Q4 is to stock up on supplies. So many people I've talked to in years past were about to start packaging up something and they didn't realize that they had run out of tape, or they had run out of their Dymo labels, and they weren't able to get the shipment out like they wanted to, or they had things that were polybagged and they ran out of their suffocation. Oh, we're kind of low. We need to order some. Okay, so I'm going to write that down. We need to order some. Okay, so tip number 3, stocking up on supplies. You don't want to be in the thick of things come mid-November and in December and realize, oh my gosh, I need to order some supplies and then I have to wait days for it to come. Or you take a quick trip to the store and buy supplies that are way overpriced that you can get so much cheaper online. So tip number 3, stock up on supplies. Tip number 4 out of the 5 that I'm sharing today is just to understand something. With increased sales, which is going to happen in Q4, there will also be increased returns. Don't worry, it's a natural, it's just a natural thing that will happen. When you start to make more sales and your sales multiply by 10 times, it's possible that your returns can also multiply by 10 times. Now, it's something you want to make sure that you follow up on. If you have people returning things because they're defective or they're not as described or anything like that, you want to make sure you follow up to protect your seller account. And this might be a topic for a scope in the future about protecting your seller account because of what your customers say in their return to get a free return. But make sure that you take care of those and understand that with increased sales will come increased returns. There's articles on my blog to make sure, first of all, that if an item is returned and they got their money back, but they didn't actually return it, there's articles on fulltimefba.com blog to find out how to make sure that they actually did return it and how to get reimbursed for it. Another thing, I have all these little, I guess, sub tips that kind of go along with this, but again, with tip number 4, with increased sales will also come increased lost items at Amazon, damaged items at Amazon. So just understand that that's going to happen. And Amazon is supposed to reimburse you when they lose or damage something, and it happens probably the majority of the time. But a lot of times they forget, and it passes by. So a lot of times you have to make sure you follow up on that to make sure that the items that are lost or damaged, that you get reimbursed for that. So tip number 5 for making the most of your Q4 time is do not forget your why. I read a book last year called Start With Why, and it completely revolutionized my thought process and my perspective, my mindset on my business. To think about, okay, why is it that I'm working on this business? Why do I do what I do? And I started thinking about it, and I was like, you know what? I love the freedom that this business gives me so that I can spend more time with my wife and my kids, and to be able to be with them so much more than if I was stuck in an office for 8+ hours a day and then in the car for another couple hours a day. I really thought about my why. And so when I remember my why, that the main reason that I love the freedom, and Amy Freeman talked this morning about freedom and how FBA provides this freedom, and it was really good. But I just, not letting go of that, not forgetting your why, and understanding that when you realize what your why is, it helps you keep the right mindset and the focus on the right things, so that you don't get swamped and just so distracted by sourcing, send it in, source it, prep it, ship it, get it out, make more money, source it, source more stuff, buy more stuff, look for this, look for that, send it in, and then you're like, and then your family gets left behind. So remember that. Remember the whole reason behind the whole last 3 months of the year. I mean, November, Thanksgiving, remembering what you're thankful for. December, and all the religious holidays during December. For me, I reflect on God's love, the sacrifice of Jesus Christ coming and becoming a man, living his life here and being, sacrificed on the cross for our sins. I want to remember that. I don't want to forget that and get so caught up in just the mindlessness of stuff. I understand it's part of our business to provide stuff and to sell stuff, but that's not the main focus. I want to remember that, you know, I want to honor God in all that I do. I want to keep my family a priority, and I don't want to lose any of that. And I don't want my family at all to think that Amazon and selling stuff is the reason why I live, because it's not. So those are the 5 tips that I just wanted to share from my heart today about being able to maximize your profits, your time, and to really understand what's really important in life when it comes to Q4. Well, that's all we have for today. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you like this video, we'd appreciate a little thumbs up. And if you have a comment or a question, hey, we're here to answer your questions. So leave a comment below if you want to talk about more about this topic, or if you have a question to go on a deeper level, ask below and we'll follow up with that. And if you want to make sure you don't miss out on any Amazon FBA training videos, be sure you click subscribe so you are able to follow us and make sure you get all the videos. And if you're looking for any of the links that were talked about during this video, you can find those in the description. You just look at the description, click on the links, and it will take you to the places you're wanting to go. And if you want to learn more about full-time FBA, come over and check out our website and our blog. We got tons more blogs, articles, videos that help you take your Amazon FBA business to the next level. You can find that at fulltimefba.com. We got freebies for you when you sign up that will help you, and tons of stuff there to help you with your Amazon business. So we look forward to seeing you there. Again, fulltimefba.com. I hope you're having a great day, and I will see you soon. Bye.